Hi, Dr. Brooks. I'm going to show you MindTap for Paralegal for Family Law. Some of our MindTaps are set up a little different. So as you see here, it looks like there are chapter views. Sometimes we have folder views. You can actually set this course up any way you want. And if you need us to assist you, we do have people in place that will actually set up your classroom at no cost. You just kind of tell us what you want. The great benefit about MindTap is you can hide chapters from your students, or you can change the order of your chapters, and you can add your own content to MindTap. And basically how MindTap works is it starts with very general, basic knowledge of what you're going to go over, and it goes down to the really specific to make sure that your students understand the material and are ready to take their exam. So I'm going to click on Chapter 2 here, and you see we have a reading, we have the lecture notes, we have quizzes, practice key terms with flashcards that your students can print out, or you can utilize in the classroom and kind of separate your class and have a little game with that, and apply your knowledge by completing assignments. And then we also have practice terms and helpful websites. So you can kind of view all this and see, is this needed in my class, and do I want this in my class? So I'm going to go to one of my most favorite parts about MindTap, and that is the actual textbook. The actual textbook can actually read to you. And I think that is very beneficial for students that are busy, and some students that like to read it, hear it, to help them comprehend. So I'm just going to show you very quickly how this will actually read to you.
Formation of the attorney-client relationship.
Now, the benefit of reading the chapters, they can change how fast it goes. So if you want a male or female, they can change the speeds. Another great feature is you can actually make the words bigger or smaller over here. They can also bookmark the page here. Now, I want to let you know that you're actually not seeing the entire MindTap. There's a little bit more to the right. It will show you the different apps. And as you see here, I highlighted some of the content that you as the instructor can choose to share with your students. So let's say I wanted to share with my students this particular sentence here. The orange button allows you as the instructor to share. I, as the student, can select my own note taking. Another option here is that I can add a note. I can basically say this will be on the test, and you can also do that too. So this really keeps your students focused, and they really understand what is expected of them in their classroom. Sorry, I'm new to this computer and it keeps doing crazy things. Another great feature is if I highlight a word and I don't know how to pronounce the word, any word on this page, no matter how simple it is, you can actually have it read to you, and you can also look it up in the dictionary. So that means that a student doesn't have to go to you to ask, what does this word mean? And the pronunciation part of paralegal has terms in there that your students need to make sure that they pronounce it correctly. So I can have it read to me. So
attorney.
So it just said attorney. So that is very beneficial to your students. So these are some of the great features I find within MindTap. Another really awesome feature is you can choose the edit mode. You can also print. So if I wanted to edit to make sure that my students are actually reading the textbook, which we all know that sometimes students do not read the textbook, I can click one of these plus signs and I can go into and add an activity. I can add my own content. So if you have a case study, now you will need to use Google Docs to add this. I can add a web link. I can add a homework assignment. I can add a video, and I can add an RSS feed. So if there's some current event going on, you can add that. I think it's a great feature actually to be able to add a test in there, maybe 2 questions, and maybe that's part of a homework assignment where you can make sure that your students are actually reading the material. You can also click on a video and you can show options here where you can add what kind of relevance. So if you want something uploaded date, view count and ratings, you can have safe filters, moderate, strict, and then you can put something in here as far as, let's see, family law that you feel would fit your class. And while you're in the classroom, if it's something that you want to actually show within your classroom, you can select it and kind of use that in your class to keep, as a guideline within your class if you want to add maybe an assignment within there. And did I actually add it? I'm not really sure if I actually added it. Let me try that again. I don't think I actually added that. So I'm going to click on this once more. I'm going to add, I'm going to select Family Law. I'm going to select it. I think I actually clicked on cancel. And this will say insert video. I'm just going to type in Family Law. And I'm going to continue. And now it is added to the classroom right here. So there might be something related or some current event that you want to add in the body of the text to kind of keep your class relevant and current. That would also be something, like I said, that you can split the classroom up, talk about it in the class, and really engage the class. So I'm going to click out of the actual textbook here. And we're back into the different things. So you can go in and click on this. I'm going to also send you the ISBN number for this MindTap because it's actually not on our site. So if you want to add this to your bookshelf, I know that you have passwords that you set up for your class, so I didn't want to go in and reset anything for you. But this is what you can do. And I can also, happy to come back in, kind of go over this with you a little bit more. Setting up a class. We can even, if you don't have a lot of time, we can do a WebEx, whatever fits your needs the best. So what I'm going to do really quick, so that I don't take up too much more of your time, I'm going to go over here where you can see the apps that are available with this particular course. So here's your flashcards. Here's your courtyard where you can actually communicate with your students. You have the RSS feeds, and right here is where your students and yourself, if you create these for your students, they can create their own study guide. So if I wanted to create a study guide on family law, of course I'd probably do it based on chapters, family law, I can select the unit that I'm actually using, so this unit here. I can select key terms, I can select custom flashcards, my shared highlights, and my shared notes, or I can select all, and I can add it to my unit. So now I have created my own special study guide that I can now print and review at my leisure. So I'm going to go ahead and close this out. And one key feature that I really like, now we don't have anybody enrolled in the class right now, but if I click on Open Gradebook, there's nobody in here, so I have to go through sample. And I know when we met before, we were talking about seeing what your students are actually doing in your classroom. So I'm going to kind of go over here where you can kind of see what students are doing in the classroom. So right here is the engagement tracker. So you can see on a whole like what students are doing. You can have little notes over here as well as the grades. Here's the analytics. It's going to tell you, you can go by student to tell you how long that student spent in the classroom, how many logins, activities they have access, so you kind of know like what they're accessing, and you'll know what they're completing. You can click on specifics, time in the course, and you can click on what exactly was accessed. So let's just say, obviously I can't scroll up and down, you can figure out what students might need help with. You can figure out how much time they're spending on their coursework. So, and you can save this information, and all this can be exported so that it's very good for accreditation purposes to be able to show how much time students have spent. If you have a snow day, you can still assign assignments. So now students will still have to complete assignments, and they won't have to make up certain work or come in for that day. So right here is where you can kind of manage your course. You can save this in an Excel document or a different type of file. So that's very helpful there. Basically now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you into the actual what a student view would look like. So real quick. So now I'm in the instructor resource site, and you see that I've created this Family Law A, and here is a link that you would share with your students. When you share this link with your students, all they do is click on this link, and basically either they're a new student, so they would create an account, or they would just, if they're a returning student, they would just put in their name. So I'm going to put in my name here, and as you can see real quick, so you notice I'm the instructor of this course, so that link connects your students right to your class. So I'm going to type in my password. I'm going to log in. Hopefully I remember my password. And the students typically have a temporary access for this course, so it looks like this access is good until the 28th. So they would just say start with temporary access, and they would log in, and they would go through that each time. So now it's going to enter, and it's going to take a student through the different views. So this is going to do the same with you as well. So this view is a weekly view, and you kind of click on week by week. I like to set my classroom up and keep this particular view, and this view is a unit view, and I just think it's just more organized for myself. And this view right here is you can kind of see each week, you know, what grades you've got, how you want to look at it, and kind of go through this way. So I'm going to click back on here. So now I'm in the class as a student, and basically I'm going to close this over here. I can open my grade book and I see what my grades are. I can read the chapters, go through everything that we went through before. So pretty much that's everything we need to do, a student would need to do to access the course. And I would imagine, since if this is something you incorporate with the class, the students would actually have their printed access cards either the day of class or when the books are issued, and they would do that at that time, so you wouldn't have to worry about the temporary access. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to send you, like I said, the ISBN number. I'm also going to send you the bundled pricing with or without, and you can kind of let me know what you think. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.